We're starting to get into that season. Kids will soon be getting new computers, phones, iPads, and games all over the holiday season. And they'll likely be spending part of their winter break online. And today's children are growing up in an era of groundbreaking technology. And it can be hard for parents, even privacy-aware ones and tech-savvy moms and dads, to stay ahead of the game and keep their children safe. That's why we have Kathy Pedreas here with us this morning. She is a content creator, also known as TikTok's mom friend, 2.5 million followers, and she joins us. Good morning, Kathy. How are you?
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me. I'm doing great.
Well, that is wonderful to hear. And so, as we mentioned, a lot of kids will be getting some kind of techie toy or device this holiday season. And a recent survey revealed that parents' concerns about kids' online habits and usage are growing. Now, what stood out to you as you saw that?
So Firefox and YouGov conducted this survey, and one of the things that stood out to me is that over a quarter of parents believe that their children don't know how to protect themselves online. And if you think about this time of year, as you were referencing, we're gifting all these connected devices, all these smart gadgets. So this is really a time of year when you should be prioritizing this digital safety kind of conversation in your home. It's a great opportunity. And if you're looking for an easy way to find some of these conversation jump starters, that's where, Firefox can make that conversation easier.
And so how can families help keep their children's data and that personal information more secure?
That's a great question because, the websites we use, the apps we use, they say a lot about us, our likes, our dislikes, our hobbies, the products we buy. And so a couple of best practices is to just boost your security and privacy across the board. Look for things in your settings like disabling location tracking services. On iPhone, you can ask app not to track. Make sure you do that. And also, you don't have to accept the default settings. You don't have to accept the default browsers. Opt for something that's more privacy focused. Firefox stops ad trackers from being able to sneak data. They also have something enabled by default, which is called total cookie protection, and that prevents companies from being able to track you across multiple websites. So there's a lot out there that you can take advantage of.
Yeah, a lot that people don't know about, though. That's why they need to listen to this. And for parents that are concerned about their child's screen time, what suggestion would you have to encourage a healthy relationship with technology and with themselves?
That's an interesting point because the same Firefox YouGov survey found that screen time is one of the most concerning factors for parents, but it's also what tends to prompt this conversation around digital safety. And more recently, it's been found that maybe it's not as bad as we think. During the pandemic, research found that screen time, staying connected online, really played a crucial role in young people feeling like they still had those connections and also their mental health. So I would say instead of prioritizing, the quantity of screen time, really think about the quality. What is my family consuming? Why are they consuming it? How does it make them feel? And have these conversations. But I would say, if you want to establish some boundaries, talk about these family rules with your family, you can think about things like instituting some charging breaks, maybe during homework, maybe during the evening, maybe both. And also think about disabling some of the notifications on the social media apps, because these notifications that tell you, hey, you have a new follower, you have a new like, that's kind of the thing that tends to suck us back in, and you can turn it off.
And so some parents are wondering how they get this conversation started. They might be worried that the kids are going to roll their eyes at them and not really pay attention. So what would you advise to get that ball rolling?
Listen, it's going to be awkward. It's going to be complicated. The good news is that, this information is coming from a third party, right? It's coming from mom and dad. They're facilitating the conversation, but it's really coming from experts at Firefox. And sometimes, kids are more willing to listen to somebody else. So you can try to use that to your advantage and just have these conversations with your family. More importantly, though, talk about, some of the rules that you want to establish, but it's also really important to talk about why. And again, make this a two-way positive conversation, because that's really what establishes the groundwork for, as your kids get older, the conversations get more advanced.
And so where can people go to get more information on this?
If you go to firefox.com/families, you'll find a lot of resources on how to have this tech talk within your family, tips, tricks, printouts. So I definitely recommend starting there.
All right. That is a great resource for a lot of folks. Kathy, thank you so much this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, stay right here. We're going to have more North Dakota Today for you right after the break.